created live on Fireside.
Well, here we are. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, one and all, to the Chris and Amanda Show. Monday, 12 p.m. Here we are once again to have another amazing show. Show number 9, episode 9, Amanda.
9.
We are nearing double digits.
Double digits. I remember when Owen turned double digits, how sad that was. But this is happy.
Well, this is happier. This is wow, we're 9 weeks doing the show. So we're now over the 2-month mark.
And with all of our amazing listeners here beside us.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're so appreciative of everybody joining us live here on some of you may be joining us on your lunch hour. Some of you may be joining us, it could be earlier in the day for you, depending on where you are. Yep, it could be breakfast for you. Or it could be even nighttime. I mean, really late night, depending on where you are in the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look at Randall and Angel and John. Oh my gosh, all of our friends.
I know, everybody's here today. It's really good. So we have another amazing episode all ready for everybody today. And yeah, we're super excited. I was really excited about the songs that I picked for Amanda this week. And she gave me some really good songs too. So I have a lot of notes on her songs for sure. But I put a lot of time and effort. I always put a lot of time and effort into selecting songs. But the more you and I do this show, the more I try to then pick certain songs that I think are a good entry point to a band or musician or artist that you might like. So now I'm trying to say how far can I push it? Can I get the 4 record? Can I get a 5 record rating? This is the real challenge now. So this is how I'm looking at every single week, especially with certain bands that I'm really into it. I'm I think Amanda may really dig this. I think this is something she may absolutely get into. So that's where my
I don't want to get into it too much, but maybe this week.
Maybe.
I feel like I hear an echo really bad. I hope others don't hear an echo.
Oh yeah, I don't hear anything on my end. But if you guys are hearing an echo, let us know, and we will.
Oh, they are. Does that mean you're hearing an echo? Okay, we're hearing an echo.
All right.
So I have my headpiece in now. Normal. Sorry guys, we're gonna work through this. Through this. Wait a minute. I don't feel like I hear an echo anymore.
Okay.
Is the echo gone?
Oh, here we go.
Oh. We have John's going to come up and give us a little help here. Hey, John, how are ya?
I'm doing good, friends. How are you guys?
Very good.
Oh, very good. Very good.
Are you hearing the echoes?
No, the echo is gone, but that's unfortunate because I thought that was a great way to segue into 80s movies. You could have done your perfect sloth impression, you know? You guys!
Oh, that's classic. Oh, what a great movie. I love it. I'm so glad the echo's gone though.
Nah, but don't let me take away from the stage. By all means, you guys keep going. I'll chime in a little bit later. Please don't let me interrupt you. Go.
So grateful, John. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, John, for chiming in. Yeah, sorry for all the little technical stuff going on there. It's episode 9. We're still learning. We're still growing.
Absolutely, and we are growing every day. Our Instagram followers are getting more and more. Our Patreons, members are getting more and more. And I have to say, our Patreons have some power.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
I've tried to slip in this song twice now, and it's gotten voted down twice. And I'm like, darn it. So our Patreon members have power for sure. So I'm going to keep slipping it in there. I'm going to wait a couple more weeks, and just maybe it's going to slip through. Yeah,
well, one of the songs that finally got through today is was a JD McPherson song that you're gonna talk about. But that was it took I think 3 weeks of putting it on, or maybe 4 weeks, maybe 3 weeks of putting it on the poll in the Patreon, and it finally got through this week. So I was like, Thank God, because I've been dying to play the song for you. Because I'm like, okay, if it doesn't make it this week, I'm just sending you the song. Oh, you need to hear.
So if you want to have the power to help form our show,
Yeah.
please head over to our Patreon. And we're not getting rich off of it. It's just fun to have a little bit of an outside community outside of Fireside here too, to give you some special stuff. We do reaction videos to the songs that we discuss afterwards. It's just a lot of fun. A lot of nonsense.
There is a lot of nonsense. And there is actually to a level where you basically commission a show.
Yes.
I mean, essentially you get to pick 3 songs for each of us. So you own the show basically. So that's another little added perk of the Patreon membership for sure.
Absolutely. And if we have some new listeners, let's explain how the show works. So basically, the concept behind it is I pick 3 songs, Chris picks 3 songs, because we come from completely different music backgrounds. So that is one of the fun things that we think make our show work. We rate them on a very complicated 5-record scoring system. 1 meaning, it's garbage. It's going to go into a dumpster fire, like Chris likes to coin and say, which I love it. And then 5 meaning like, ooh, this is going to be on a playlist for forever. And it's just one of those songs that you could listen to maybe 5 times in a row because it's just that good of a song. So 1 through 5 records. It's super fun. We just like to have a good time on this show, and we hope you do too. And at the end, we always welcome everyone up to the stage that wants to give us a scolding or a cheer for our scores. So we hope you can hang around to the last 10 minutes or so of the show so you can jump on stage and talk with us.
Absolutely. And we, of course, welcome all kinds of reactions, whether you want to cheer us or boo us or whatever, or, post in the comments below. We will absolutely be scanning those. And yeah, we absolutely invite it because it makes it a lot of fun for us up here as we're doing the show. So
absolutely.
With all of that out of the way, all that great stuff. Oh, I see Amanda has her. You have almost. So I know you guys can't see the video feed of this, but if once again for Patreon members, you can. You will be able to see it. But yes. Amanda's got how she separates the songs on 3 pieces of colored paper, which kind of match her colored earrings. In a weird way.
Okay. All right. Let me talk about my earrings for a hot minute. Actually, we're probably going to do a live after this on Instagram, more than likely. So head over there after the show if you want to see what these earrings look like.
Yeah.
But funny story behind them. I wore them during a board meeting one time, and somebody texted me. He was like, "Hey, I really like your earrings. They look like cotton candy." And we were laughing because it was a Zoom, and the leader of the board could see that we were laughing. And she was like, "Are you and Drew laughing together? Are you making jokes?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I texted her. I texted the wrong number. I was like, "Yeah, Drew's making fun of my earrings. He says they look like cotton candy." And the person replies, "I think you have the wrong number, but those earrings sound really sweet." So it was an amazing reaction to a person that I didn't know. So I felt, if you're listening to this, they're the same earrings, and thank you for being kind.
Yeah, well, I do like how your colored pieces of paper sort of share.
Match.
Yeah, they match. You've thought of everything, Amanda.
I've thought of everything. So can I dive into which songs you chose for me? Is that
absolutely?
Okay,
let's do it. Let's kick this off.
Do this. All right, so the first song Chris chose for me is Destination. Is it Ursa? Am I saying that right?
Yep.
Destination Ursa Major by Superdrag, which I kept trying to type Superdog 1,000 times. I was like, I dig that. The number 2 songs is Friends of P by The Rentals. And then the last and final song is Let the Good Times Roll by J.D. McPherson, which is exactly what you had referenced earlier, that was trying to sneak it into it for like the last 4 weeks. So Those are the songs that Chris chose for me. Chris, what songs did I choose for you this week?
So the songs that you have chosen for me this week, and always it's an eclectic mix of songs. So I can always sort of tell where Amanda's listening to music, where she's at musically for the week. So the first song is by the Chicks, who were formerly the Dixie Chicks. They've dropped the Dixie, and now it's just the Chicks. Wide Open Spaces. Christina Perri with Bang, Bang, Bang. When I first saw the Bang, 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 I was like, oh, wow, this is a Danger, Danger song, which you have no idea who Danger Danger is, but they were like another 80s pop. And I'm like, oh no, wait, it's Christina Perri. It's not Danger Danger doing Bang Bang. It's Christina Perri doing Bang Bang.
Bang, bang, bang.
Bang Bang Bang.
There's the 3 bangs.
Yeah. It's a triple threat.
Triple bang.
And the last song is Johnny Cash's I Hung My Head, which
Ooh, I like the way you said, I hung my head.
I hung my head. And I don't want to start going to my reactions now. That's the last songs of on my list. So, I'm excited to talk about all these because I have notes, and I see you have notes.
Absolutely.
So here we go. So who wants to go first?
I'll go first if that's
all right.
Okay.
You go first.
All right. So the very first one again is Destination Ursa Major, which I feel like that song title is so bizarre. So you'll have to explain that at some point. It has so few lyrics. I always Google the lyrics because I like to see what's happening.
I know.
You know I make up lyrics. So I want to know what the real lyrics are. And it has so few lyrics. And every time I see that, I always wonder, why don't we have hits? If that's all it takes are those few of the lyrics. Chris.
Are you saying you and I?
You and I, anyone in our audience. Like if it had 20 words in it?
It is a short song. There's a lot of repeating, but it's
a lot of repeat.
I don't want to influence your judgment here because I'm going to start campaigning.
But I just find it fascinating because I always feel like, man, so much goes into music. So when something can be like a very enjoyable song with so few lyrics, I just really go, wow, I wish more people would realize that it doesn't take a whole lot of words to break into the music industry, apparently. And I'm being like very like, I'm making it sound like it's so easy, and it's not. Like, I get it.
Amanda's working on that hit song.
I know that I will be a one-hit wonder. Hopefully one day. I don't expect a whole lot, but I could certainly have a one hit.
You could. Anybody can have one hit.
Right? I mean, I'm not asking for too much. So y'all heard it here first, friends.
Amanda Sharp's debut single coming out sometime.
20 words or less.
Yes.
It'll be there. But I loved, so with so few lyrics, there's a pretty substantial music break in between it. And I really enjoyed the music though. A lot. And so there's drums. Is it like a keyboard? Like what instruments are in this song?
Guitar, 2 guitar, bass, drums. There may be keyboard on the. I'm sure there's keyboard in there somewhere.
How does that sound?
I don't know which sound you're talking about, but
I'll play the sound for you. I'll be like, "What is this, Chris?"
I think I know the sound. Now I think I know the sound you're talking about.
It's not necessarily in the musical break. It's in like the more of the like beginning of the song. Yeah.
That's guitar.
What is that?
That's
it is
guitar.
a guitar? Okay, yeah. I guess I just don't really understand all the different types of guitars out there in the sound.
Yeah, well, it's just the way they're playing it. It's like for any guitar players out there, you'll probably know, but it's like a bend, like when you're playing guitar and you get that, like you're bending the string and you're sort of
you're bending.
So it's a little bit of like a slide and a bend type of thing that they're doing at the same time, and it's like they're doubling up on it, and they probably doubled up even more in the studio too to beef it up a little bit more. But it's a great sound because it's really such a hook.
It is. It really is. I mean, I grew up with a keyboard like this big that had buttons that you could like do a little.
And it's very possible that like in the studio they may have backed it up with a little like keyboard as well, just to give it a little bit more sound. They do that a lot in studio. So
I just want to hit a button.
Hit a button.
Just hit a button. So those are my notes on this particular song. Not many because there wasn't much to digest. But overall, I really liked the song. I really liked it. The lyrics weren't offensive, which, is an important thing for me. Unlike Hand Me Your Skull last week, all the skulls of little girls.
It's a love song.
You keep saying that.
It is. I want your skull.
Marcus and I just watched the Unsolved Mysteries episode that almost kind of had like reference to that. I was like, oh my gosh, it's still haunting me.
It's happening. It's actually happening.
He was the one who probably wrote the love song. I'm sorry. I digress. So with all of that being said, I give this song 4 records.
All right.
Four
So
records for this one.
this is what I thought would happen, and I'm very pleased that it did happen that way. Yeah, I love Superdrag is a band that I talk about this all the time with friends of mine who are also Superdrag fans, because they were a band that really got lost in the 90s, like the mid 90s, like explosion of I hate the grunge alternative. I hate that term, but like they just got lost in that, and they got signed. They got their big breakout song was called "Sucked Out," which was originally what I was going to give you. Because I thought you would. I'm like, because this is a huge song. Like Rachel sings this song all the time. Like this is like a song that if she finds it on karaoke, she'll do it.
I like it.
But but we're, so this was a little bit of, I will admit, this was a little bit of a joint decision to give you this song over Sucked Out, because we felt that
I like
this song would be a little bit more up your alley because of the different elements in this song and now, even though there's no hand clapping in it, at least I don't think so. It's got hand clapping parts, plus because it has that backbeat, that da-da-da-da, and that's like very like Beatles-esque, and it also makes me think of the Wonders from that Thing You Do. If anybody knows that movie, that thing, because I love all those songs, and so that backbeat part in this, and so they are like Superdrag was like just awesome American like power pop band who wrote these great songs, and they continued on writing so many great records, and they just got completely lost in the shuffle of bands and things like that, which is really unfortunate because there are so many like Superdrag songs. I think I'm going to make you a Superdrag playlist because I think there's a ton of songs that like even go further in the catalog. I think you'll really enjoy. So
I feel like I could.
Yeah, I think you could too.
Middle ground for me.
Yeah, they are just a great band. So I definitely implore anybody, if you don't know who Superdrag is, to definitely go check them out. You can always go to the Chris and Amanda playlist on Spotify, which you can access. Actually, if you go to the link in the fortune cookie or go to the chrisandamandashow.com, you can click it. It's very accessible there. You can actually listen to it right there, or you can go on Spotify. And all the songs we talk about each and every week are there. We update it weekly. So this song is on there. And if you want to listen to more Superdrag, I definitely say go down the Superdrag rabbit hole, because I think that you'll really enjoy it, especially if you're fans of things like power pop kind of music, like Cheap Trick, or even the Beatles are in there, and the Kinks, things like that. Like I think you'll dig them. Yeah,
I love it. So yeah, not bad.
I'm happy. So this makes me happy. We could end the show right now. I'm done.
Oh, but let's not.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah.
Yes. So with that, so your song for me, your very first song for me of the day is The Chicks, Wide Open Spaces. So I knew from the name, I'm like, oh yeah, I know who the Dixie Chicks are. Actually, like I think Natalie Main's got a great voice, and being a Howard Stern fan, she used to always come on the Howard Stern show and like hang out, and she's even done some songs on there, and so
she's very unfiltered.
Yeah, and I like her. Like she's like, if there was I put her and people like Johnny Cash and some other like in the category of like they're punk rock country, sure. Without being like, just because she's just so outspoken, and I appreciate that. So. Like it or hate it, I like that, she's unfiltered. So I was like, all right, I want to check this out. Like, I'm going to be extremely open-minded, as I've been with country. I will definitely say, as we go on every single week, Amanda, you keep broadening my horizons, and slowly but surely, I'm finding myself really starting to like some of these songs. So with this song in particular, so just some things I found out. Of course, I went to songfacts.com, as I always do, and to see who's on and who's not. So this was on there. So this song was released in 1998. It charted number 41 on the U.S. Top 100 charts, but spent 4 weeks number 1 on the country charts, the U.S. country chart. So a big achievement there. It's hard to get a number 1 song and then to stay there week after week is pretty good. So song was originally written. So this I thought was cool. So once again, I feel like I say this every week, but like hearing the stories behind how certain songs came about is so cool for me. I love that. So there is a story behind this song. So according to Song Facts, it goes, the song was written by Susan Gibson, who was the lead singer of a Texas-based band called the Groobies. She wrote the tune back in 1993 in a spirit of rebellion during her first return home from the University of Montana for Christmas break. She says, "My mom probably said something like, 'What time did you get home last night, honey?' Whatever. It rubbed me the wrong way," Gibson told the Montana. "I sat down at the kitchen table and wrote furiously for 12 minutes, and then I went and did something else, and I forgot all about it." So she had written a song for the Groovies. Lloyd Maines, the father of the Dixie Chicks, Natalie Maine's father, he worked with the Groovies and brought the song to the Dixie Chicks. So the Groovies recorded their version in 1999, and they had done their version in, I guess, 99 as well. So they both sort of did their own version of it. The song was named Country Music Association's, I guess, the CMA's Video of the Year in 1999 as well. So here's my take on the song. So a lot of accomplishments, hit song, like the story behind it. I am a fan of Natalie Maine's. I like Natalie Maine's voice, even though it's very, twang. But the twang in the voice is not a thing that turns me off. I just sometimes find some country stuff to be like,
sure,
it just isn't for me. This song in particular, I felt like the minute I heard it a few times, I felt like this was like a song that I would see in a movie that was starring Matthew McConaughey and Kate Hudson for some reason. I'm like, and it's probably set and it's probably a country inspired type of film, but for some reason I just see this song being in that movie, whatever that movie is. I also was like I don't know if you watch it on Netflix. It was a show called The Ranch. It was on.
Yes.
I loved it.
Love it.
Because I'm a huge Sam Elliott fan. So I'm like, Sam Elliott's in it. I don't care who else is in it. I'm watching it.
He's my other crush.
Roadhouse, baby. So I also felt like, and it may have been, I don't know, but I was like, I think this song could have been in that show because they did feature a ton of like country songs in those shows. Like, so I was like, wow, this feels like it would be in a movie or a show. I liked the lyrics a lot. I thought the lyrics are cool. I like Natalie Maine's. There was just something for me that wasn't though. Like there was with all these things that I liked about it, and I listened to the song probably about 15 times. There was still something that was like not like grabbing me, and I can't put my finger on it. I just can't because I felt like it checked a lot of boxes for me, but there was just something that I couldn't like send me over the top with it. So with that in mind, I'm gonna give it 3 records because I don't think it's a bad song at all. Like I think it's a cool tune. I just couldn't get it to like. I don't know. It wasn't sticking with me. So for whatever reason.
And that's, I think that might be, and I don't want to stereotype, but I think that could be because you're a guy.
It could be.
I feel like, can you envision your daughters like driving down the road, like as they were leaving, just enjoying the freedom? I feel like
probably
I related to this so much when it came out. I'm like, yes, like it's all about living life, and so I really enjoyed that.
Well, especially the backstory there, which is like, where it was written, how it was written.
So cool.
So I agree with you because I do like the lyrics. I like that, like, yeah, I'm out there, I'm on my own. Just there was just something, but I mean, you may be right. It could be like that. It's just, from that other point of view that I just don't have. Absolutely. But it's okay. 3 records is okay. Yeah. It's okay. I mean, it's not a bad song. I'm not trashing it at all. It may actually be one of those songs. As we go back, it could move up potentially. This is true. So I will tell you this. I will add it to a playlist. It'll live in a playlist, and we will see what happens. It'll live on in a playlist for me. If Chris adds it to a playlist, I feel like it was a well chosen song, regardless of the scoring. I feel like at this point, not only do I have the Sunday morning playlist going on, but I think I'm starting to develop like basically a country songs that I kind of like playlist. That's good. That's a good place to start. I enjoy that. Okay. So for your second song, it's Friends of P by The Rentals. So I love and I wrote it down as like ooh, ooh, oohs, but you know what I'm talking about. I was like, you are gonna. I really like that part a lot. I want to know, it's super catchy. If you're friends with P, you're friends with me. I like that. If you're down with P, then you're down with yeah, I'm like, that's really, really catchy. More lyrics in the last song. But I have to know,
Who is P?
So P is it's actually P is just sort of like it's like it could be anybody, it's just sort of like, well, if you're friends with this person and it's sort of like that go-to person in your world type of thing. So if you're down with him, then you're down with me. If you're friends with P, and then he's just like, because he's kind of talking about like, I could be the guy for you. Like he's trying to sell himself a little bit, and he's like, hey, but I'm friends with P. Like, at the end of the day, like I'm friends with this person, and
I'm friends
therefore,
with Amanda and Chris.
yeah, exactly. Like we could be P in that song.
Oh, I like that. So I had to figure out who P was, but now I think that explains it. It was a little slower.
Yes, that's the
for
point.
Like
it's
one of your song choices. I found that a little interesting, but I really enjoyed it.
I surprised you.
Yeah, like I have to say, this is the song, not to have a spoiler alert, but this is the one that I like the least of the 3 songs.
Oh, wow. That's a shocker to me.
Is that a shocker?
It is a shocker. It is a shocker for me because I felt like this song had all Amanda elements in it.
I don't know what it was. So as I listened to it, I did enjoy it more. So I do think it's going to be one of those songs that go up in rating, as we've discussed. So I wouldn't skip it. Where some of your past songs I would skip.
Like Skulls? That may grow on you.
I just can't get past the lyrics. So I wouldn't skip it. So I liked it. So at the end of the day, I'm going to have to say, it's kind of like with the Dixie Chicks. I'm going to have to give it 3 records.
Wow. Okay.
I don't love it enough, but maybe it's because you gave me 2 other songs that maybe I enjoyed more. So if I had to rate all of them, it just, the lineup just made this one be a 3 record. Could that be fair?
It's very fair. So I actually I put so much thought into this week's list, I may have actually sabotaged myself by giving you 3 good songs.
Really good songs. I have to say, like, all of them I did enjoy. So I feel like this one was the one that I liked the least.
Okay.
But that's okay. So
okay.
I still would listen to it though. I wouldn't skip it. I wouldn't turn it off. I don't get any upset feelings from it. My biggest takeaway was, who's P? And then I was like, oh, we could have had a song about us.
We could have.
So, and why the Rentals?
So the Rentals is it's just like, so this band was a project for Matt Sharp, who sings and he writes the music, and he was the bass player in Weezer on the first 2 Weezer records.
Okay.
And then him and Whit Rivers basically had like total creative differences, and Matt Sharp went off. And the Rentals were sort of a side thing, and then it became like a full-time thing when he left Weezer. And so this was like really big when it dropped, because it was like, oh my God, Matt Sharp from Weezer. Like, and actually, so we did That Dog song, That Never Say Never. So there's like crossover between That Dog and Matt and the Rentals. Like they've interchanged members on his band, the Rentals. And Maya Rudolph was actually a member of the Rentals for a while. She sang and played, and you know who Maya Rudolph is, right?
I don't.
Oh, really? You ever watch? Oh. She was on Saturday Night Live. She's an actor, comedian. She's great.
I don't know her. I'll have to Google.
Wow,
Google.
She is amazing. I love her. She's so fantastic. But so she was a member of this band for a little bit. So the Rentals are just one of these bands. My wife, me and Rachel have seen the Rentals a bunch of times. We actually have a picture together with Matt Sharp. He was like, we went back and he was selling shirts, and we were like, we asked him for a picture, and he snapped a quick picture with us, that was a highlight.
Fun.
So that was so cool. Yeah. So I love the Rentals. They're like one of my favorite bands. This song is like, it comes on and it's just like an instant happy song for me.
Oh, it is a happy song. It's not, I can't complain. I feel like I'm rating it a little low, but I just can't bump it up to where the first song was.
I have a feeling this song, I'm going to make a prediction now, on June 21st, 2021. What year is it?
What year?
That Amanda Sharp, by the end of the year, Amanda Sharp will have moved the rating of this song.
I like
because she's going to, it's going to come on, and that woo-hoo-hoo, and that whole beat and that steadiness and it checks all the boxes.
I do think you sabotaged yourself this week. I
really
do.
I think I set myself up for failure.
I do.
It's too many good songs for you to handle. Is what happened.
I know. That's what happened.
You couldn't handle it. You were overload.
No, and honestly, the playlist this week from my songs to your songs, like I really could listen it through like completely, like without going, oh, I hated this one. I'm gonna skip it.
That's a great point. I did that myself. Because when I do it, I listen to all the songs back to back, and it was a really good flow, even though there's such a difference in genres, but it had a good flow to it. It felt really good. So highly urge anybody out there to go check out the Chris and Amanda Spotify playlist, because these songs we're talking about are the first 6 songs in the playlist. If you listen to it in order and not shuffle, it does flow. It's got a pretty good.
I was really proud of it. I was really, really proud. So
that's pretty good
for 3 records. Not bad. Not bad.
All right.
Even though you might be a little disappointed.
All right. I'm not. Well, I like it. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna work on this. This is one that's gonna come back around. So
I like it. I like it.
So how's everybody in the audience doing? Hope you guys are all doing well. We have each of us have a few songs left to discuss, but just want to check in with everybody in the audience. Make sure you guys are doing well. If you guys are liking what you're hearing, is everybody awake?
Give us a little clap if you are. They're all sleeping.
Nobody seems to be this upset over our ratings or anything just yet. So
just yet is right. Yeah. Thank you, there you Ken. Go. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'm curious to see what you think of my next song choice for you, the Triple Bang.
All right. So I have a bunch of notes on this one.
Ooh.
And Christina Perri is actually a singer that I've heard in this house plenty, because my younger daughter was a huge fan of the Jar of Hearts song. I think that's what it is, right?
Yes.
So, and I actually think that she's got a vinyl version of that too somewhere here, when she was like, I want to buy a record. And so that good. So Christina Perri is a known musical artist in our home. So
impressive.
Didn't know this song though. So this is the first time I ever heard this song, was you giving it to, because really Jar of Hearts is really the only thing I've ever heard. It's so I did digging, and so found out, and there was a certain thing about this song. I'm like, this doesn't sound like Jar of Hearts. This sounds like a completely different version of the Christina Perri that like I'd heard. Like I was very much like, wow, this is a little like very torchy sounding, almost like Nancy Sinatra-esque, very like 60s garage, like power pop, but a little bit more produced. I was like, I gotta find out, because the song is just different. So found out that she worked with a famous studio producer, Joe Ciccarelli, who worked with the White Stripes, Tori Amos, the Shins. I mean, his resume is ridiculous if you Google him. I mean, he's worked on so many amazing like bands. And so I was like, all right, not that, I mean, listen, this is what happens. Like artists write a song and then producers come in and help them really bring that vision out. And so it just made sense to me that she wrote this song and that it sounded the way it did, because it also, for me, had a little bit of like a Motown wall of sound like influence. So it had that going on.
I like it.
I really dig the Farfisa and Moog, or Moog, whatever. Is there Farfisa or a Moog? I couldn't remember. Can't think of it, but it's like a piano breakdown in the middle of the song. I'm like, whoa, I dig this. Okay, this is like, I'm really digging this tune. I will say this, Amanda. I had an image of you shopping in Target, like, and this comes on, and like I see you like kind of like with the cart, and like
it's
like
so true.
Totally doing the Amanda 5, dance.
4, 3, 2, 1, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, exactly. That.
Yes. There's no hiding it when that cut part comes on.
No, I totally see that happening, and this is I'm like, this is a total Amanda song, but I really like this because I feel like you thought about the song, because you're starting to learn some of the things I'm into, and so you're like, oh, sounds like a little like retro, some good instrumentation. Chris likes a lot of female singers. Like, I feel like you're kind of figuring things out a little bit. So I will say that I really enjoyed this song.
Yes.
And I like that it was, at least, I mean, I haven't heard all the Christina Perri catalog, so I'm throwing this up against Jar of Hearts, which is a nice song. It's a nice piano-driven song. It's nice, but this I like because I love that like retro garagey type sound, the whole Nancy Sinatra. I love the torchy singers, so I like this. This is 4 records for me.
Nice.
This is 4 records. Even the bang 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 is like a really rich, like, that's just everything about the song was like everything that I kind of like about like rock and roll.
I love countdowns too. So like any song that has that countdown, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I got to ask you, like, I do the hand thing, like when it's doing it, like how do you count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 on your hand? Because I think I do it all goofy. Like I don't do it good. Like I could never be in the music video going 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm like more of a, I think I'm like more of a pointer. I'm like 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm like more of a pointer. Like I do a lot of that. It's like that hardcore thing. So it's like, you're always pointing.
Oh, okay. In that song, it would be appropriate to do the pointing as opposed to an actual countdown with your fingers. I like that. Much cooler.
It's like, I think it's I'm definitely more of a pointer when it comes to
maybe
jazz
we'll do a reel to this, and I'll do my awkward countdown with my hands, and you could do this, and
I'll do the point.
So much cooler.
Yeah.
This is why we're a perfect combination.
It is. But I like this song. I was really surprised. I didn't know that she, I didn't really hear anything past Jar of Hearts or anything like that. So, I mean, I don't know if the rest of this record sounds like this or if this is just sort of like a standout track. She wanted to do something like this. So
it's very interesting. Yeah. So I think this is good. This is good. I was hoping you would like it, and I'm glad you do, because it's much edgier than some of the stuff that I listen to.
Yes, it is. It definitely has much more of that rock and roll feel to it. And
for sure.
I would love to hear the demo version of this song, actually. I wonder what that sounds like. I wonder if it's even a little bit more like almost like raw, punky kind of a thing, like real, like raw, like super garage rock kind of sounding, before like they really started adding in the layers of different music. I
love it. I love it. Now how can you listen to demos? Can you Google them?
Well, sometimes they're released, sometimes they're not. I mean, it depends, it's like artists don't usually want demos released because it's, it's like a work in project. It's work in progress. Like they don't want always want everybody to hear like where it started. It's like, it can sound a little rough. So,
fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough. Okay, so your number 3 song is "Let the Good Times Roll" by J.D. McPherson.
Yes, not the Cars.
Well, at first I was like, I feel like I should know this name, and I was like, I don't. And as soon as I started listening, I was like, no, I don't know this.
Okay,
name.
So I wasn't sure if you knew who he was, because I don't know. It's hard because I'm like, he doesn't show up on a lot of country stations, but then he does. Like, so it's, and he's not country. I don't know. I don't want, you keep going. I don't want to.
I don't like Google a whole lot. You're the songfacts.com guy. I'm the how it makes me feeling person. And so I was really, when did he make this song?
So this was the second record he did. So this is probably 2000 something, 2016.
Which blows my mind. It's 2000 and something.
Because it's probably like 2015, 2016, somewhere around there.
Amazing to me, because it doesn't sound like it would be in that year.
Yeah.
At all.
Right.
But I was like, okay. And it wasn't on the playlist at first, like with the Chris and Amanda show. And that's usually how I listen to the songs, because I just find it a lot easier. So, but I also try not to watch the YouTube video versions because we react to the videos. And I was telling Chris, that was the first thing that popped up, and I was trying to listen to it. And the very first scene of the video has a baby in it. I'm like, extra point for the baby, extra point for the baby. Like, it was the first thing. Like, I was so excited to see a baby in a music video. I just thought it was so cute. So that instantly got a record just because of the baby.
Right. So that's one.
That's one. That's one record at least. So I love the beat. Love, 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 love the beat. Like, it was like, I'm a shimmying, like, in the house. Like, I'm actually doing what is the what's his head? Charlie Brown, the Linus. Like, that was me. Like,
right, the side to side with the shoulders.
Yeah, doing some foot action through the house because I just loved it so much. And it sounds like you're gonna laugh at me, but when I first heard this song, I was like, was this in Ghostbusters? The second one, when the Statue of Liberty,
I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Is walking, because they needed to give it music to pump it up. I felt like this was the song, and I actually Googled to see if that was the song, because I still didn't know how recent this song was, and it wasn't, but it kind of sounded like that. So, which made me go, Ghostbusters, bonus point for that. So, point for the baby, point for Ghostbusters, even
And-
though it had nothing to do with the song.
I just want to say right now, you're now getting the deep dive inner workings of Amanda's thought process. So everybody, please,
I hope they were ready.
especially if there's any doctors in the house, you must be fascinated by this.
Like, extra point for nostalgia, even though it was a new song. Like, I can't believe it. And so I have to say, I am so grateful for this show, because I know without a fact, I probably would have never stumbled across or heard this song without you recommending it to me to listen to. And so with that being said, I loved it so much, so much that I'm giving it 5 records.
Whoa, 5 records.
5
Boom.
records. It was
Boom.
so good. I listened to it by far the most, even more than my song choices for this week. I love it so much. I wish there was, it probably, if I had a playlist of all the songs in my head, it would probably be in the top 10.
Nice. Wow.
And that's like all of my life's worth of songs.
Yeah. See, now you know why I was campaigning so hard to get this in to the show rotation.
Yes.
And I couldn't get it out of the Patreon voting.
No.
And
I almost missed out on this 5-record gem.
I know, you almost missed out. I figured at some point it was going to have to get out of Patreon jail.
Patreon jail. I love that.
And break free. So here it is. Yes, I'm so glad you finally got to hear it. JD McPherson is amazing. Like, we have seen JD probably about 4 or 5 times in concert. And if you think this song, I mean, this is what his whole sound is like. This retro
it's so
rock
beautiful.
and roll, like Sun Records, like 1950s, 60s sound, old school rock and roll. It's just amazing. So much fun to watch, so much fun to listen to. I mean, if you're a fan of that music, it's just great. And he does it awesome. But somehow still makes it a little bit more modern-esque. I mean, if you're not into like just rock music and like, if you're just not into that, something this may not be for you, but I think for the most part, people are just so into it. And it's so like Americana, like sound and vintage guitar, vintage equipment. And I don't know. I just can't say enough. And this, our friends, mine and Rachel's friends got us into it. They were the first ones to start. They introduced us to them. We're like, oh my God, we were over their house and they're playing records. I'm like, what is this? They're like, it's JD McPherson. I'm like, I've never heard this before. This is great. And Rachel and I went like head over heels. We like bought like all the records. There's 3 full-length LPs. Yeah, there's 3 full-length LPs out now. He's working on a new one, which, COVID kind of put a damper on it.
Sure.
And there is a Christmas record, Amanda, that they put out called Socks, which is...
I almost choked myself with my string here. I was so excited.
I know, because Amanda sent me a screenshot of the last 4 things she's been listening to. And one of them is a Christmas playlist. And I go, in June? Already?
I really needed a pick-me-up yesterday. And my pick-me-up was the Merry Christmas Darling by the Carpenters channel.
Merry Christmas, darling.
We're apart. That's true.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my pick-me-up after grocery shopping.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can just picture you. I can picture you in
therapist
going grocery shopping and getting in the car and like totally like cranking out Merry Christmas, Darling by the Carpenters and like singing it loud. And then like you pull up next to somebody and the windows are down and they're looking at you like, hey, how you doing? Merry Christmas, darling. Just belting it out.
No, this is why usually Marcus doesn't drive anywhere with me.
And people are like, "Are you okay, honey? Do you need someone to talk to right now?"
It was a little cooler yesterday. I was feeling in the spirit. Oh my gosh, I'm excited that he has a Christmas album.
Yes, I will send you the Christmas album. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh, I cannot wait. I was thrilled to have discovered him. So I can't wait to plug him in as a Pandora station for me. Usually if you're hanging out with me in the bar, I usually will put at least 2 or 3 different JD songs on the jukebox. So well played.
Yes.
Well played.
It slips in
5
well.
5 stars. 5
all right.
stars.
5 stars. Boom. Boom. Love it.
Boom. Yes.
Boom, boom.
Oh, felt good to get that one out. Ooh, I've been waiting. Party games.
Party. All right.
I love
So your last song for me is The Man in Black.
it. On my head.
I hung my head. And Johnny Cash. I hung my head. Never heard this song before. And actually, hearing this song actually now is getting me to listen to this. This was on Johnny Cash's last studio record that he released. American 4, Man Comes Around. So this was the American 4, The Man Comes Around. This was his last studio record, and the record's got a lot of covers on it, some originals. This record has, of course, the very famous version of him doing "Hurt" by Nine Inch Nails, which everybody's known, and it's been used in tons of movies and all kinds of stuff. So this song, "I Hung My Head," I thought was an original. I didn't know until I looked, and then I found out that this song was actually written by Sting in 1996. Really? Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I was shocked, and I was like, wow, this was on Sting's 1996 record, Mercury Falling.
Oh, my goodness.
Right. And I thought at first, I'm like, I can't be looking at the same song. There has to, and it 100% is the same song. And Sting was saying that he wrote it because it reflected his childhood fondness for watching tons of like TV westerns, and he was like, really way into country music and all that. And so this
blows my mind.
And I will tell you this, which you can imagine, the Sting version of this song is like, it sounds like it's on it couldn't be any more different from.
I'm gonna have to listen to it.
The Johnny Cash version. It's so interesting to listen to that version, and then how Johnny Cash tweaked a few of the lyrics too. Just Johnny Cash. Who's going to tell Johnny Cash you can't do that? But it's still the same song. Like structurally, it still deals with the same thing which is actually, I didn't even think it's a genre called, it's a murder ballad. So I was like, wow, which most country, especially the old school country songs are a lot of murder ballads. I mean, it's like that's. So I was like, oh yeah, it's a murder ballad. It's like, listen, it's like you put Johnny Cash on, and it's so like, there's, I think I've said this before, there are certain artists you put on, like certain records or certain artists, I'm just going to keep it the artist, that you put on, and it's just like, their backstory, where they came from, and what they do is just it's so hard to like not have so much respect for what they've done, how far they've come, how they've created, the things they've been through, and how they are able to have it come out, even in a song that's not his, is still like fascinating to me. And it's just like, I think that's the power of Johnny Cash, is that he like, no matter what he does, like his life, his story, everything comes out. I feel like that too with like, there's so many artists like that. Like I think of that, like when you listen to Little Richard and like, you hear it, even though it's like, you think of Little Richard as like this really like happy, like the up, but like those songs have tons of energy and passion behind it, and it's like so much fuels him. And so there's a few artists that are just like, for me, I feel like they're a little untouchable in the sense that like they're gonna do their thing, and like when they do it, it's gonna be great. And I'm not saying they've not had hits and misses, like everybody in there, they can't constantly put out. But what I'm trying to say is, a song like this, I found it fascinating that he took a song that Sting wrote, who's already Sting.
I would never have guessed.
And great songwriter. Does not sound anything like the song on Mercury Falling. So the song was I also found out the song was featured in The Shield and the Green Hornet film, which I don't remember. Green Hornet film was so bad I could barely remember it being in there. There was another band who I didn't get a chance to listen to this version, but Blue Highway released a bluegrass version of the song in '99. I don't know if you knew who they were, but no. I had not heard of them. I did not get a chance to listen to that before this, but I am interested in hearing it just because now I'm like, I want to hear the different takes on this.
Yeah.
And, and I did find out, and I think this is on YouTube somewhere, is Bruce Springsteen also did a cover of it in 2014 on the Kennedy Honors, where Sting was an honoree. So Bruce Springsteen did this song in honor of Sting. So I thought that was cool. But getting back to this song, I thought it's such a classic Western song, country song, and it's so great that like Johnny Cash re-record in that Johnny Cash way that only he can do. He owns that sound, that style, the Man in Black. Like nobody else can own that moniker.
That
like
way.
he is 100% the Man in Black. So so hearing this song is making me now go through this record and like listening to all the different versions and some of the other songs that he recorded on this. So I mean, honestly, it's a classic. He's a classic. I can't so much say that I think the song is like a classic, but it's just like it's Johnny Cash, and it's hard to like say anything else other than like, you know, you got to respect the guy. But I love that he was also bold enough to do things like this song and like a song like 9 Inch Nails, and he even did like Red Hot Chili Peppers and did like Johnny Cash versions. Because going back to what you were saying about lyrics and things like that, and like how, you know, people like can put their own, like they feel that emotion within a lyric. And obviously this song is very much this classic, like, you know, it's the murder ballad and he accidentally kills somebody and he feels remorse, but he has to pay the price. And you know, he's waiting to be hung on a gallows because the jury convicted him. And then he's got this vision of meeting the person he shot and, you know, the lone rider. And so it's so like that classic, like Western ballad type of a thing. And so it really paints a picture. I don't get the same picture when I hear the Sting version.
No.
At all. But when I hear the Johnny Cash version, I'm instantly like, whoa, I see that. Like you see like that Western story playing out like a short film.
Yeah, you don't need
in
a
your
video.
Head.
You don't need a video to go with it. He's such a good storyteller when he sings.
He is. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It is and it's a gift. So yeah, five records. I mean, it's Johnny Cash, right? So it's it's hard to not give a guy like Johnny Cash like 5 records.
So good.
And then, you know, and when you hear the other songs on this record, you're like, oh man, you know, and it's a real shame that he, you know, this was his last recorded like full record before he passed. But you know, it's you're like, man, I would really wish we would have had like maybe a few more or a couple more. I don't know, but anyway.
5 records.
It's definitely a cool song. I am 100% going to listen to this whole record more now because of it. And I'm happy you chose the song for me this week because I dug it. I did dig it, even though it was a murder ballad.
Listen, we both did not.
It's like Skulls. It's a murder ballad, like Skulls.
Well, and the thing is, with Johnny Cash, he's almost talking some of those lyrics.
Yes.
But it's a song. And
it's like poetry kind of. Yeah, like
when he's saying, I hung my head, you feel him physically hanging his head. Yeah. It's just so powerful. And I have to agree. I don't necessarily love the song lyrics as much as I love the song. Just because I think what he does is just such a gift. He's so good. So good. Fun fact, he was in Little House of the Prairie, one of my favorite episodes. He comes to...
I'm not surprised.
He comes to good old Walnut Grove and pretends to be a preacher.
Not a far stretch for him.
Exactly. So I'm just so glad that you loved it. And both of our songs, we did not even mean to have 5 records each this episode for the last songs. That's what I love.
Yeah, no, it was a good build up, and every song was different from the next, and it was a really nice flow though. And this is why, you know, Amanda was saying, and I agree, is that when you listen to all these songs, how we have them set up on the playlist, they really have a nice flow. Even because I think it's like it's your first 3 and then my 3 or something like that, and you end on a Johnny Cash, and then it goes into super. I don't know. It just is like you don't think it would work, but it works. It does work.
It really does. And I can't speak to the dynamics behind a good playlist. Like I think you understand and can speak to it a little bit because I'm sure there's a science behind it. If you're going to be a DJ, there's a science behind how you play something, right? Yeah. But like every time we pick our songs, we do not talk to each other about the songs. It's strictly like I've chosen mine, you've chosen yours, and how they line up is how they line up, whether it makes sense or not. And this week, I just think it just synced in so nicely, and our ratings kind of reflect that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so. I could completely agree. And yeah, I mean, it's so true. Like Amanda and I do not collaborate on the song choices at all during the week. It's so like, okay, I'm going to go off in my corner, you go off in your corner, and then that's it. And while we collaborate on every other aspects of the show, that is the one thing that we really kind of hold from each other as far as like, I'm not asking her like, oh, should I pick this for you or pick that, and vice versa.
No.
It just is what it is. So however the cards land is how they are.
It's true. And we're very hush-hush about any of our thoughts on it leading up to the show, because we have a really bad habit that we can go into a 3-hour show without even meaning to go into a 3-hour show. So we have to like really guard our reactions for Mondays at 12 Eastern time.
We absolutely have to do that. We have to do that. So, so we have a few minutes left. We'd love to invite anybody to come up if you'd want to share your thoughts, feelings, whatever about this episode, about the song choices that we've made. If you have any questions for us, James, I did see you write that about, I do agree, using Hurt in Logan was awesome. That is like one of my favorite films. I loved Logan. Such a great movie. So I loved it. Was so perfect using it in that film. So I agree with you 100%.
Look at James and his knowledge.
Dropping.
Well, anyone who wants to come up to stage, just raise your hand and we'll bring you up. But John, if you're still there and by your phone, what are your thoughts since you're still on stage with us? We'd love for you to unmute and join the conversation.
If you're able.
If you're able. He's been on the stage for a while. I like it.
Oh, no. If you really want me to bring out my full 9 yards on this, like, don't get me wrong. I adore, and excuse for the noise, I'm actually driving as I'm joining in this conversation. Don't text and drive, kids.
Yes.
No, I have a deep love and fascination with Johnny Cash's interpretation of Hurt. But it also, like me being the industrial nut that I am, and I am die hard. I am an industrial kid. Like that was my era. It drives me nuts when people say, like, "Did you hear that Johnny Cash song, Hurt? Man, did you hear it?" No, I didn't. I heard the cover that he did. I didn't hear a song that he wrote. Let's get it right.
Yeah. I agree. That happens a lot, John. Oftentimes it's like an artist like Johnny Cash, like, hey, it's great. He takes a song, he does an amazing interpretation of a cover version. And especially to an audience that may or may not know who 9 Inch Nails is. And it bugs you as a fan of 9 Inch Nails or any band like that. And you're like, oh man, like if people only knew where the real song came from, and so you definitely get defensive.
That's the thing. Like it doesn't bug me that people have attached to the song. It bugs me that they don't know the roots of it because they call it a Johnny Cash song, and that just makes me cringe a little bit. And yes, I am the first to admit that he did it way better. Let's be real. Like his interpretation of that song was even Trent Reznor himself openly stated, like, I don't think I could have done it better. That was pretty amazing. So that being said, no, I don't want to take up any much more of your stage time, but Chris and Amanda, always love talking with you guys. And actually, while I have you both here, and I'll make this super quick, but we're going to be diving into a music series here pretty soon ourselves, and doing a series on extended concept albums and stories surrounding them. And if by any chance either one of you would like to hop online with us, we would love to have you. So,
oh yeah, I would love
Absolutely.
That'd be great.
We're there.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, absolutely, anytime. Well, Chris, Amanda, thank you so much. I really get a hoot out of what you guys are doing. It makes my Mondays. It really does. So thank you so much for that. Please keep it up, and I will definitely come in to bombard and harass you guys from time to time, and hopefully you guys will do the same.
We love it.
So appreciated, John. Thank you for having us in your car during your drive. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You guys have a great day.
You too. Thanks, John. Cheers. Well, awesome. Well, thank you.
Fun.
That is so fun. That's great. Yeah, I'm I would love that. So we always welcome anybody who wants to, come up and either agree with us or harass us or, make comments. I mean, it's all good. It's all fun. It's what the show's all about is having fun and laughing, a lot of laughing,
a lot of laughing, a lot of laughing, a lot of nonsense, but all from a place of good intent.
100%. Absolutely. So if anybody else doesn't have anything else they'd like to say, we'll give the last call.
Oh, last call.
Last call.
Probably in a bar.
Leanne Womack.
Well, reference episode 8. John's
more
coming
thing.
back.
Yeah, sorry. So I remember when you guys were toying around with that whole concept of incredibly offensive songs, right?
Usually it's me who's being offended.
Okay, so I hopped on that first conversation with you guys. Again, I'm sorry for jumping back up on stage so briefly, but I really got a kick out of that conversation. And if at any point you guys want to continue that conversation on, I need to flat out tell you that after I got off of that conversation with you guys, I built a 110 song long playlist that is guaranteed to make you feel uncomfortable.
Oh, wow.
I just want to put that out there. And if you want me to share the Spotify playlist with you, I can do that. It ranges anything from Two Live Crew to Guttermouth. But if we're really going to go down that route, let's really do it, right?
Well, I'm fine with that, John. It takes a lot to offend me. But however, Amanda, I don't know. Amanda may I don't know. I would say send it to Amanda, and she could have listen. You have the choice. You could listen or not listen. I mean, she found skulls pretty offensive, but you know.
Really?
Well, it was because of the line of basically give me all the heads of little girls. Like I was like, why little girls? Like that just seems so wrong.
You obviously have not listened to Cannibal Corpse, so we're gonna
forget it. I can't go. You know what, John? I can't go down that road with her. I believe me. There's a whole separate batch of music that I'm like, I don't know if I could do this to her. She may quit the show.
So are you telling me that you and I need to do an offshoot that's something really dark? Because we can do that.
We may have to. That's going to be the late night show. The late
night version.
Hey, you're on, man. Anytime. All right, Chris.
Fun.
Oh, John, you're awesome.
Thanks,
Thank you.
You guys have fun.
That's
all
amazing. Right. You too, man. Thanks. So with that, I guess we'll wrap up the show. So Amanda, do you want to give everybody the final notes or whatever what we want, our final wrap up stuff that we always do?
Our final wrap up. Well, as long as Chris has time, we're gonna head over to IG for an after party. Woo woo! So I think he's doing the after party dance. So we'll definitely be over on IG. So find us there if you want to participate. And we try to keep it under 5 minutes, but 20 minutes later, we're finally usually wrapping up.
Yep.
If you're interested in becoming a Patreon member, please do that. $2 gets you the video version. That's like 50 cents an episode, totally affordable. We have lots of different tiers that you work your way up, all the way up to $100 tier that looks hidden, but we promise it's not hidden intentionally. That's a karaoke version. And that means even if the song is crazy for either one of us, we're still going to sing it.
That's right.
So, John. I mean, I'm thinking one of those offensive songs Amanda could be jamming out. We might not sing it like the person. Maybe we'll make up our own rendition. Who knows? But for $100, we're willing to play around with it. That's
true. And I will say we just posted a couple new reaction videos, actually 3 new reaction videos this week. So we have a reaction to Leanne Womack's Last Call music video, a reaction to Dawkins' In My Dreams music video. And then because we did Dawkins in My Dreams, Amanda's like, we should do Debbie Gibson's Only in My Dreams. So those are the 3 latest videos up on Patreon right now of us doing some music video reactions and talking about these amazingly amazing pieces of music video history.
Complete nonsense half the time, but it's fun. And then again, on our IG, we have lots of different clips of behind the scenes stuff and just our normal conversations. So we'd love for you to engage over there with us and enjoy our reels and all that fun stuff, because I can't say we work hard at it. We work a lot at it, but it's such fun work that we can't really say it's hard work.
Yeah, it's fun work.
Yeah, we put a lot into everything, but we love it. So
yeah.
We would love it if you love it too, though.
Yes, absolutely. So with that, we do want to thank everybody for there we go. We do want to thank everybody for jumping on today, watching live with us. There we go. John's share our IG accounts. Hey, John. So our IG accounts are, it's at the Chris and Amanda Show.
Mm-hmm.
That is the Chris and Amanda. So that's where we're going to be doing the after party, at the Chris and Amanda Show on IG.
Mm-hmm.
But our personal, my personal one is at Chris Vaglio.
And mine is at Amanda Ann Sharp. No E on the Ann.
That is
no
correct.
E on the Ann. So yeah, the Chris and Amanda Show IG page is where all the fun stuff goes in our lives.
Yep.
So we hope that you join us over there.
Absolutely.
Yay! Thank you everyone for being here.
Absolutely. We'll see you guys next Monday at 12 p.m.
For
Eastern
our
Standard Time.
show.
Double-digit show. Turned 10 weeks old.
10 weeks old. I love it. Bye everyone.
Bye.